Hi, welcome to your 3-Minute Daily. I'm your host, Rob Bob. Today, I'm going to throw an acronym out at you. TEPCO. What is TEPCO? The Tokyo Electric Power Company. Here's another acronym for you. FUBAR. That's exactly what's going on in Japan right now. The operator of the stricken Fukushima nuclear plant, TEPCO, has been dumping like 1,000 tons of water, radioactive, into the Pacific Ocean on a daily basis. That's like taking a crap in your front yard every day for a year. Unbelievable. Remember, the reactors are riddled with meltdown holes. Building 4, with more radiation than all nuclear bombs ever dropped or tested, is missing entire walls, and Building 3 is a pile of rubble. The whole complex is leaking like a sieve, and the rivers of water pumped into the reactors every day are just pouring into the Pacific Ocean with only a slight delay. Most people assume that the ocean will dilute the radiation from Fukushima enough that any radiation reaching the west coast of the United States will be low. Because of the huge amounts of radioactive water TEPCO is dumping into the Pacific Ocean, and the fact that the current pushes waters from Japan to the west coast of North America, at least some of these radioactive streams or hotspots will likely end up impacting the west coast. Tokyo Electric Power, thus, wants to use the wells to direct part of the groundwater into the Pacific Ocean, likely to be about 1,000 tons per day, before all the groundwater flows into the reactor buildings and elsewhere. The water is recycled as a coolant after reducing its radioactive level through a water processing facility, which was installed after the plant was hit by the March 11th earthquake and tsunami last year. But tanks storing the processed water could eventually become full, partly because of the groundwater. Why aren't you hearing about any of this in the news? Well, the mainstream media has imposed a news blackout. There is little to zero coverage of the ongoing disaster known as Fukushima. This is going to affect you in 3 major ways: through the air, through the water, and through your food. Today we discussed water, and we'll discuss air and food in a couple more segments. Why isn't Japan doing more to do this? Well, TEPCO doesn't have the manpower, the engineering, or the money. Japan as a country was experiencing very poor economic conditions before this happened, and now they're broke. TEPCO's broke, and with costs of over $10 trillion, they are both willing to just stand by and watch their country die. I think that the international community needs to step in and do something about this. We cannot allow this to go on the way it's being handled. We'll talk more about Fukushima in some future segments. That's your 3-Minute Daily for today. I'm your host, Rob Bob. See you next time.